Ablade abi wananye eko ngmeneso biniji nyongmai enyoke ete ma wenyo ye afi akpe enyo nyongmai enyoke ekpamli na share mo ni shane na woboana wakeba hanye share mo na keje ote Facebook ke YouTube obanya kwa ye MBN 360 na jamodo te shida no wabote sanjamle ya ha wakwa oti ye ni ye share mo ekomen
Onupai ewele na agbai ano kenko jimoni ajewa moshika kenha youth agencies low oblantai akui short ye. Ye shika kejora yili sanji amliye NPP masinata omukuwe episanji kenko annual fiscal surplus low se namoy aye kenye mid-year budget review ni abaka nye. Niye manse sajami we amaniebo ihawoli ake mahebuloi amo cocaine na show $1 million ohai eteke no mike bawo no $370 million ye Liberia to find going ahita ni chumochi momli.
Sanjene meke ekoko me ahejino nyebanu yeshani na adafichano agbene sanjene di enchemni mbote mone onupai eje na agbai akpo kenko jemo ni aje shikani ato ke ha Ghana oblantai aku oti ni amewoshi ake no ne banye egba oblantai anuchumo ke hiwalewo ni femo ana kebolima
Awele na agbai ne ano bemli ni shitamo keriomomli ya no kenko Oblantai ashikawa molo youth financing ni femo ni youth employment leadership Ghana ke parliamentary select committee on youth and sports to igbejano yeriomomli ye ni femo shishe technical advisor ke ha youth advocacy and gender ye youth employment leadership Ghana nigbaiji Abdul Ganiyu Al-Hassan Jilekbo ake shikai ni ato aha Youth Employment Agency niji YEA ke National Youth Authority niji NYA sekbe nese HFO bafe afi enyone ni shikadi enche agbonokra ketese.
My name is Abdul Ganiyu Al-Hassan. I work with EFL Ghana as a technical advisor for youth advocacy and gender. So today we're having a conversation or a dialogue on youth financing in Ghana. And the challenge for me, based on what we have been doing under the Follow the Money campaign, has basically been as a result of the District Assembly Common Fund shifting from statutory disbursement or allocation to Youth Employment Agency and then the National Youth Authority to discretionary allocation. So we observed that from 2016 to 2025, the DACF and Parliament has made some commitment to be able to give money or allocate and actually disburse funds to these agencies. But along the line, it started declining. And we are here to have conversation around the causes or the consequences also of the decline from 2020 or 2019 to date. So for last year, our tracking revealed that 0.6% was allocated to each of the agencies, YA and NYA. And then we were concerned and we met with the committee and also the other stakeholders, youth agencies, to be able to say that we need to block the youth funding and move it at least from 0.6 to 2.5 last year. Unfortunately for us, for this year, no allocation has been made. And so we are asking the questions why it has fizzled out from 10% to YE to no allocation, and then from 5% to no allocation. The conversations are around a judgment that was passed somewhere 2018 on the Kodo versus Attorney General case. Our understanding or reading of the case borders on total revenue to the District Assembly Common Fund. And so others are using that as basis, even though it is not clearly mentioned in the judgment that funds should not be given to the NYA. Others still make that as the basis for that. So we think that
Mlawo kwe henyo ke ha inshaiso usikifon akucho anunyamo Dr. Stephen Amwa ewie ke dole keshi Global Info Analytics Survey aloni amlingbelemoy ni ko mlawo kwe hebi a modern boy ake eji ni jiamlin wuje ni eyenagba.
I wonder what Musa Dankwa, my own brother, is depending on. This is very, very demotivating. This is very dangerous because I believe in myself that with my performance within 6 years and with the opportunity I had, what I've done, I don't think you can get more than 10 MPs to do what I've done. And I'm not comparing myself to my MPs, but I'm talking about top performance. So Mr. Dankwa should come again because I find it very strange. You go to Santasi Market, I gave them about 100,000 to do businesses, share and pay back without interest. Just about 40% paid, and I left the rest. You go to Atasimaso Market, armed robbers were worrying them. I used my own money to provide security gates and other things. I am cool with the constituents. I am fine with them. Through me, some of the youth got GRA, Cocoa Board, Ghana Gas, banks. Some of them are in UK. In fact, one of them is one of the top army officers in UK today. Some of them, the parents call me and they are crying. I just went to UK. This thing was bought by a constituent who, because of me in UK now, he's having a good job. He talked to me and he was crying how happy he is now. So please, I got this, you can check. In 3 years of my tenure, I can't believe it what is happening. And I'm not doing this because of my reputation. Only God knows what I've done. But I'm doing this for us to be careful that the people who are doing rather good things in Ghana are not seen or praised, except those who are kind of using ways to create content and deception and lies. I think I cannot be rated as a low performer. With all that I've done, Dankwa Musa's team should go to the schools and ask the headmasters and the teachers what Steka has been doing there. Dankwa Musa's team should go and check, because if you ask people around what Steka is doing in the schools, the person might not have been in school, or children might not have been there, has not gone there. I beg them. Misinformation is as toxic as
Mayen yellow John Dramani Mahama ewu Africa Majin onupai anga ni ameya hiye feriemoi na amebo modern hu ake shiwoi ni amewo ye African Union Extraordinary Health Summit loye na bo amo shishe ameba dise ni ehi abase na moi.
We know very well that health value chains mean factories, laboratories, and dignified work for our young people, sewn together by the African Continental Free Trade Area. Sovereignty in health, it turns out, is also an industrial policy, a structural transformational agent, and a liberation strategy. 25 years ago in Abuja, we promised to devote 15% of our national budgets to health. That promise is now old enough to have children of its own. So the pledges we make this afternoon must be physical, not lyrical. Through the African Leadership Meeting commitments and the Program for Financing and Investing in African Health, through debt for health arrangements, solidarity instruments, and protected budget lines that survive electoral cycles, let each of us bring the Ministry of Finance to the health table and keep it seated right at that table. Prevention repays us ninefold. Show me a better bond in the economy market than prevention. Excellencies, this afternoon, we shall deliberate amongst ourselves on local manufacturing, financing, and governance and leadership. Our member states will pledge, and we shall adopt the Accra Declaration. As your host and your brother, I make one request of all of us. Let us not adopt another eloquent text. Let us seal our pacts with our words of
Mlawo pe here na dalo anunyamo Alban Bagbin ke kokobo eham mlawo pe hebi kenshi sirens low chonjamling bemoy ke police foi ke amese moy allow police escorts ni begbejano tui amin.
Kokobo na nye famo ni je kabinete ni file fan ake mukomoko kwa behigbe ni ekekane lo gbe moniji siren ko ba wo le di enche ichoni alo amralo choni ni akehale ni ebiko gbe keje ko mansolo ni ko manyibu sajie ano neke famo ne fele fang ake police fo ehun ni nyom mlawo pe hebi alo mansolo ase niji police escort services se keji ibahia sake ana nima lo wolomako kenje mansolo ni ko mahibulo isajiano alo inspector general of police niji IGP edindang ye wiemom linke ha shia lo mlawo pe he na da lo niji speaker bagbim wo mlawo pe he bi anga na mebomoden ake amekeneke mlane achuni pepepe bona fe ni gbejiano to ni juleshi ke ha gbejigbe no shesheshe ke mambi ahimo ke yeli na me yo ya menuchumo mlie e ya le na kainon.
The office of the speaker has received a communication from the Honorable Minister for the Interior conveying a directive on the use of police resources, particularly police escort services, and the installation and use of sirens on vehicles. The communication requests that the directive be brought to the attention of honorable members of parliament and the parliamentary service. Honorable members, according to the communication, Cabinet, in compliance with existing law, has requested, among other things, that no person shall install or use a siren on any official or private vehicle without the prior written authorization of the minister responsible for the interior.
Ashante Kpokpano National Security Secretariat Amo Yusuf Ibrahim Moni ye osumlinje tidi chani eyi ni femoy amli ye akucho ni benke agenda 111 ye lachamoye ni amaye adansi asokwa.
So some few weeks ago, we know how it was heavily degraded by illegal miners. Those who you are claiming we are treating them with kids' gloves or whatever. As you can attest with me, whilst we are here, we've just picked some of the workers or some of the boys who are still around trying to work on the land to the RCC. And heavily degraded some few weeks ago, and now given a second chance. So that is part of the fight for getting our lands back. And I can assure you, we are going to take them on, especially the illegal miners who did that wrong in this place. We are all worried as Ghanaians as to what is happening. And as I'm saying, we are here with the committee. And I've also said that we are investigating everything that is going on that seriously is disturbing our communities. As we are standing there, you know it's very close to the Agenda 111. And when we came here, we still see, as the reclamation is going on, we've still seen some boys around. It means if we are not careful, in the next few days or weeks, you realize they are on the premises of the Agenda 111 itself. So we will have to wake up and fight.
Yes, Sajin Kokume Amlie, Technical University Senior Administrators Association, Local New York Ghana, Ne Tusag, Ewie Ake, Amale Moderni Ebo, Ake Ebaye Egbe, no, Jinoni Eha Amikaminichu Modade, Eshuation.
Nichumo dade keshishwe mo jishishu ma wenyo gbinichi nyuma inyono face nikulo union eke amralo enyeko ewo ame one of research allowance nyomo na agbene nwe egbe npa monika ameke amralo etenye enyeko eyino na kan pepepe ya ameka ADAFITSWAA awie momlie se no talo ke ha tusak ye Accra Technical University Owula Dominic Ampake nichumo dade ni ameke hwehwene Baka he eya no ahun ke ashi amralwe baye amehishi fon ke shibu ife king ano
was suspended. It was not called off. It was suspended
that by this, if the government has not paid, we will resume it. So that's why we have resumed it. Oh, we are saying that the government should just honor his promise. If he pay right now, we will quickly come in. And once again, I think we also there was an agreement signed with the government that some allowances that need to be to help us, and I think the retrospective date has not been agreed upon, which we signed. So this also another, but the core issue is the one time.
Chawancha shemwe ano mansolo ni kwa gakpopa ano Linda Oklu ekpe ananu gbaja charging tamo AI assisted tools lo ni bi na keba chuni nke wa kechi mobui ni ewo ye Ghana hiwale pakpa na mogbini emi
ye riamomli ye gakpopa ano mansolo najan ye nife mo he mamakpa mo ke ha 3rd China West Africa Medical Summit and Expo 2026 Regional Director Keha Ghana Health Service Dr. Robert Emisaya Felefang Ake Yemiake Yegane Hewale Papa na Manushumo ete here fio mone Shimwe na Baikome Tamochuka kwa manage emergency care Kesa Chaini bed niji no bed syndrome Kaemi Yanololo ni igba ye foyi ana Manson lo ke Ghana ke China shamo bawa ke wo hiwale papa na momli hiwale jugbang na agbenenwe eba agbelegbe ni me anahigbe ke ayila chamo ke jinoko mi gba amena ni basa ewa ke hacha ke mo short ni atawo eba ye hiwale papa na mogbeni emli.
Government of Ghana has recruited critical workforce over the years to respond to these increasing demands. Despite all this, we still have very huge gaps. And probably the use of AI-assisted tools would be one of the helping ways to addressing the gaps that we have in our health system. AI-assisted tools, if properly used, can help us detect diseases before they become complicated. They can remotely help people in the primary healthcare level to diagnose diseases using smart imaging, telemedicine, and assisting health workers to make quick decisions when it's possible. If these are properly done, they have the potential of strengthening and expanding our primary health care, and that will build resilience against clinical and public health emergencies.
Wabada mshie moneno ni wofu ike wakungo se wake shika kia jawahili sanje baba hanye. Kachi oi.
Hata odiasa mluko faso. Baba, me again. Nessa we ale. Me kwa dwuma mu hia menti. Menti me sent my friend doctor after when I'm kwaso oba. Share the conversation. See what we swear any. She has malaria. Hey, malaria. Oh, what they say what the router. Me kope bia brand sisi. E duro ne fe no router mixer. Ye come malaria duro. Enu ane router. So Gap trap and the draw crew abaso body assay. Wabo Ruta mixture abaso. Ruta natural products and one Ruta mixture. Yeah, you could see a treat. Ruta tonic and the Ruta life for a who a finish like the bunny, a fin per diem. That's a supporting immune system. Ruta de Obiasia, FDA.
Shida Klejo no ake uko yobe ye MBN ADAFITSWAA no kabaje shi ye shika kia jawahili sanje amlie New Patriotic Party lo NPP masilata omokuwe ebisani kenko shifimo keha fiscal surplus aloboni amralo ni femo ye shikagbe fan neji expenditure se fafeto ni amehio kenye 2026 mid-year budget review alo kanemo yin.
Now, the government will cite a 2025 primary surplus of 2.6% of GDP on a commitment basis against a target of 1.5%. And they would seek to tell the Ghanaian people that that means that they are managing the fiscals prudently. But we want to sound a caution ahead that it's important to look underneath these numbers. You will find that revenue has missed the revised target by about 4.7%, and the surplus was delivered because expenditure was compressed by 13.8% of GDP. In plain language, the government did not out-collect its target. It rather underspent its expenditure targets. Savings from delayed capital execution are not structural reform. They are only a postponement of things that they will have to do at the end of the day. The question hanging on Thursday is a surplus, a policy achievement, or a reporting artifact of budgets that were simply not executed. On the evidence, ladies and gentlemen, we are clear that it is the second. Fiscal space created by under-execution is not true fiscal space. It's only a deferral of things that you still have to do at the end of the day. And you will recall quite recently, we were reminded in a very sad way when, for example, expenses that needed to be made on flood control programs were not done. In the end, when the floods came, we saw the number of people who perished. So fiscal space that is created by under execution is not fiscal space. The real cost.
When we back be na yeshika kejera yeli sanjam liye New Patriotic Party lo NPP masenata omokuwe no ewele na agba ano kenko gbeno ni amralo eyen yomoy amling iha kenye 2026 mid-year budget review alo kanemoye.
The arrears problem that this government first complained about and tried to paint the NPP black on, the arrears problem is not gone away. The finance minister himself, if you recall, in 2025, reported that they had discovered arrears of about 67 billion Ghana cedis. And he used that to adjust the primary balance at the time. And you recall the minority at the time saying that that was very, very inappropriate. Now, he subjected it to an audit. The audit came back and proved that his 67 billion was false. And that indeed what he could only even attempt to claim was 45 billion. And I'll come to a second point on that one. And by the way, that 45 billion was because they just went around asking anybody who says that government owes them to bring forward a claim. Now, against this 45 billion, the 2025 budget allocated only 13 billion to settle some of it. And by November 2025, the road sector alone reported that they have now got a backlog of close to about 40 billion Ghana cedis arrears. So if the audited claim ended at 45 and they claimed they were going to pay about 13 billion, and now the road sector alone is talking about 40 billion still, the minister now says only 11.5 billion has been cleared and no new payables have accrued. The maths doesn't matter. What is the true stock of arrears and which sectors are driving it? And when cash is tight, is it the arrears clearance itself that is being squeezed? And by the way, bear in mind that this arrears stock, as I mentioned, was because they went around asking everybody to add up. The proper arrears stock has always been on the gift list. So when he comes tomorrow, he has to tell us which database he's using for his new arrears calculation. Is he using the same formula he used in 2025? Or he's going back to giftness, in which case he'll be comparing apples and oranges. And we believe we need to draw your attention so that all of us examine this in detail.
Wabada mushia moneno ni wofo eke wakunwose wakwaye ba achomanse konu wakweno neti no hunye jeme.
Infitiasia no menene kunu eware wo drop any asumdue kwan so. Ya wa re next you know. Me kwacho ba hotel pop pebi say you be sepe.
What? A team from so crown na maye.
Bibia wo Nyankopon sem.
Ekoba ne san me kunu antena se.
Edro botum wajo eye edek SM bitters.
Wa eni gia befi. We na me de yem paibo. Edek SM bitters timase mama me.
Sa wa warrior mu eni je bewie wo paya na ye kamfo edek SM bitters. Mrs. Wa oyem yo nyina monno me no akọ one.
Nunu wakabaje nshikegbe na ye manse sajiniji wonagbe shemo Liberia onupa ikefojang ake amemo chofangbonyo niji cocaine nijaraba $1 million ohai ete ke nyongma ipawo lo $370 million ye ma chofangboyin no mochimo mlim none kadio na nifa wulu ye no mokenshi manse chofangboyin ke gbefa ni chumoy ni ya no ye West Africa.
Onukpa ni yo Liberia ebomoden ame amomo cocaine ni kwen akenfagbe ni na show $1 million ohai eteke nyoma ikpawo alo $370 million yenoni amesusuo ake ma chofangbohi momo niji oti me ahi niyo ni chumone mlieji mahibuloi akui shotui ni minchuni keku manse kuko ni eto ameyin ake ameke chofangboyin ba fangbeke amaji shotui ano ni ameke Libya echon ame nyemo helo ekwe ame nanifahi onupa eke aje ni amlingbele mo ishishi momo keta ome ni yo ne kecho fangboyin kegbefa nese bonafe ni aka mefe abawujin aye ni mlaka mehu aye chofangboyin ni aya momolo asana ne chon na agbai ni me ewele no kenko West Africa gbena ni eyo keji ebale chofangboyin kegbefa ake West Africa majie echomogbe ni achomono ni ake chofangboyin fa agbeke ya majikoko me ano ni acheke ahiamo ni mlinwa titiriye ye mahibuloi akoi short yi aten ke amenichumo kechon eneno onupai etra amefaishi ake ye ni family ameba pomode ni amegbejano toi ke ba hani ne kecho fangboyin na ke fangbeke ya mansese afwe mlin awala jogban bemli ni ameke akucho short ye national mo ke hani amewa ameni bi ke bi fe amewele ametoi ano kebu mambi ahi keshi chofangboyin ahita ka mehisaji kokome.
So, as you can see from this angle,
we are looking at suitcases. What is believed to be suitcases?
Pills.
Everything is in there. We're looking at a case. Zoom in on this. It says cocoa.
All right.
We are not touching. So we're looking at suitcases that have come, and from the way it's designed, we're not going to be specific. How you guys doing? And LNP officers. So the suspects arrested here.
Good afternoon to all. At this point in time, we're not having an official press conference. I think you all have followed us from the point of seizure till now. So now what we're going to do is to detail it, weigh it, attach the value. Then we have a detailed press conference. But this is just what we asked the public over the last few weeks to be patient. Investigation was ongoing. This is the collaborative effort of the strength that comes from the unity of the joint security. We want to say thanks to all of the major players, especially the National Security Agency, the DA, the police, every lab, the EPS, everyone who have played a part in this. To the Liberian people, this is where becoming born. We said that this place was not open for cartel business, and I want to assure each and every one of you that we have the command and control of the cartels in custody.
You are blessed, ya baby energy ni baby mo gbeni wo kesha ni na hye mo ya wa shida ni wo baya ni ha wa kwa oti energy ku hye mo ya mli ekom.
Onupai ewele na agbai ano kenko jimoni ajewa moshika kenha youth agencies low oblantai akui short to here. Ye shika kejora yili sanje amliye NPP masiyonata omokuwe episanje kenko annual fiscal surplus lo se na moi aye Kenya media budget review ni abaka ne enyi. Ni ye manse sajami mwe amaniebo ehawoli ake mahebuloi amo cocaine ni na $1 million ohai eteke no Mike Pawo lo $370 million ye Liberia chofai boyin ayeta ni chimochi momi.
Mi Monique share mo e banyegbe no shane na ji na aja modo te ke fe ofiche dromo oba pe wo shane ne ke bia mli no nye wala don ke bi ni nye yi ke po.